Nammo Phat. Good morning. It's Friday, May 15th, 2020. Thank you for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The fifth wonderful precept. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful consumption, I vow to cultivate good health, both physical and mental, for myself, my family, and my society, by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. I will ingest only items that preserve peace, well-being, and joy in my body, in my consciousness, and in the collective body and consciousness of my family and society. I am determined not to use alcohol or any other items that contain toxins, such as certain TV programs, magazines, books, films, and conversations. I'm aware that to damage my body or my consciousness with these poisons is to betray my ancestors, my parents, my society, and future generations. I will work to transform violence, fear, anger, and confusion in myself and in society by practicing a diet for myself and for society. I understand that a proper diet is crucial for self-transformation and the transformation of society. Today we are beginning a new chapter in Ajahn Sucitto's book, Kamma and the End of Kamma. This is a chapter on regarding the world. When I visited a monastery in China recently, I met an old monk who presented me with a treasured piece of his own calligraphy, a piece that summed up the Dhamma as he understood it. It comprised 2 ideograms on a scroll. When translated, the ideograms mean, regard the world. Regard the world. There's attention there, but non-involvement, dispassion. Yet one keeps regarding the world, not ignoring it. That implies compassion. Interdependence. What is this world anyway? Socially, psychologically, environmentally, it's a web in which different forces, energies, and beings support and condition each other's existence. This isn't always as nice as it may sound. In the right combination, rain and sun support life, but there are also droughts and floods. Lions and antelopes exist in interdependence. Killing and eating antelopes means the lions survive, and that the numbers of antelopes are controlled so that they don't eat all the grass and bring around their own and other creatures' extinction. But if I were an antelope, I think it's not fair that a lion should eat me. I haven't done anything wrong. Why should I have to experience fear and violent death? And if I were a lion, why can't I eat grass? Why do I have to run after antelopes to get a meal? Why do they have to run so fast? It's not fair. However, the world doesn't operate according to self-view, but according to this being dependent on that. The word world implies interdependence, and this interdependence may signify an ecological balance, but it also means that the world of birth and death, of fear and hunger, rolls on endlessly. The way that the Buddha referred to this dependently existent world was that it was what we experience through our senses. In brief, that's called form. But this form of raw sense data can't be experienced separately from how our consciousness organizes it into a coherent reality. So this world also includes our inner world of feelings and interpretations, as well as the attention and intention by means of which the mind designates and organizes. All this designating and organizing is summarized as name, Nammo. For each of us, the world of name and form arises dependent on the consciousness that receives sensory input and the attendant process of meaning that organizes what is seen, touched, or felt. Regarding the world this way leaves open the possibility that each of us, through purifying our naming processes, can affect how the world seems and how we respond to it. To illustrate this, in the act of seeing, a visual object is first detected, then lingered over as the mind recognizes it and designates it with a percept, a felt meaning, such as person or car. Dependent on that and the current mood or intent, a response arises. One can then linger further and develop possibilities and plans. Regarding all this, we may feel uplifted, overwhelmed, or bored with the energies and emotions that come up. Accordingly, the world may seem exciting, dreadful, or humdrum. Now, if there is a fathoming attention to what we see, we set aside other interpretations in order to first check whether the possibilities and plans that our minds create support clarity, kindness, freedom from stress, or not. So, we can sift out the skillful from the unskillful and look into the roots of our mental behavior. How many of our thoughts and assumptions about the world and ourselves are based just on the particular mindset at this moment? How are my attitudes and mindsets coloring what arises? How am I continually creating my world and myself as someone embedded in it? To purify attention is to acknowledge and clear these biases in order to get free. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me this morning, and I hope you have a very wonderful weekend.